We are just over a month away from the NFL draft, 33 days to be exact. And in this video, we're going to break down the top 10 big board for the Jacksonville Jaguars at pick number 17 in the first round. And to me, this needs to be a home run draft for the Jaguars for a lot of reasons. You've got Trevor Lawrence on his rookie deal. The 2023 draft class so far has not panned out as many of us would have hoped for. And you have a lot of division rivals in the AFC South making some big moves, increasing competition next year across the board. Titans just making that big trade last night for Snead, cornerback from the Chiefs. I felt like they got a great deal. So a lot of reasons this needs to be a great draft for the Jaguars. And we're going to jump in just a minute. But hey, shout out. I'm rocking my Orlando Magic sweatshirt today. All the Magic fans know they've been hot. They've been rolling number 4 in the East. Shot to finish the season at number 2 overall before the playoffs. But back to the Jaguars. Let's look at the top 10 in the big board. But before we do that, let's look at who will not be on the board at 17. Of course, some of these guys you won't know, and we'll have them on our big board, and they may be gone by 17. But these are guys I feel really confident, 10 of them that will not be on the board at 17. The 3 quarterbacks will almost certainly be gone. Daniels, Williams, May, they're going to be gone for sure. Plus, hey, the Jaguars don't need to go quarterback. All you crazy fans saying that, it's not going to happen. We're not going quarterback first round. We probably won't go quarterback at all in the draft after we traded for Mac Jones as our backup. Also, the top 3 wide receivers are going to be gone. I dropped a video a couple days ago, a potential trade for us to go get Roma Dunze at pick number 8. Go check that out. I'll leave that in the comments as well. But that's the route I would love for the Jaguars, whether it's a Dunze, Marvin Harrison Jr., Neighbors. Go up and get one of these superstar, awesome wide receiver number 1, incredible wide receivers. That's what I love, but none of those guys are going to be there at 17. I'm going to go ahead and say the top 2 offensive tackles, Fashanu and Joe Alt will be gone. Top 2 edges, Jer'Zhan and Dallas Turner. So those 10 we will knock off our big board. But let's go ahead and jump right in. Number 1 for me is cornerback Terrion Arnold out of Alabama. And before you stop listening, I know so many Jag fans want wide receiver 1. And again, that's what I want. Trade up, go get one of those top 3 amazing alpha wide receiver number 1s for Trevor Lawrence. But if we don't go that route, to me, these first 2 cornerback guys are, if they fall to 17, they're home run picks. And let's be real, the Jaguars secondary was trash last year. Ton of openings, bottom 3 in pretty much every category from a secondary standpoint. And so to be able to get a young guy, a plug and play, a potential, to me, both these guys, Quinyon Mitchell and Terrion Arnold, have ceilings as high as all pro level. But Terrion Arnold, he's young, so he just turned 21 a couple days ago. He started his redshirt freshman year for Bama, which is incredibly impressive. Started every game as a redshirt freshman and redshirt sophomore. Put up a fantastic season in 2023 with 63 tackles, 5 interceptions, 12 pass deflections. Also from Tallahassee, Florida. You'll see a couple of these guys in the top 10 from Florida. Gotta love a Florida guy coming home to Duval. But if Arnold falls, he'd be a great selection. He was the number 1 corner against the run in Power 5 conferences, according to PFF, rating him over a 90 in that area. And he's a shutdown corner, can play man or zone, but especially loves press man coverage. And that's what I think we're going to play a lot of with Ryan Nielsen. So Arnold is a guy that would be a fantastic fit. He would be a guy that would be a day 1 starter for us, and the sky is the limit for both him and for number 2 cornerback out of Toledo, Quinyon Mitchell. Both these guys, to me, are amazing. I mean, you could go 1A, 1B. I switch them back and forth. Feels like every day, every hour. Quinyon Mitchell has been an incredibly fast riser in the draft process. A lot of people had him CB5, CB6, CB7, and now a ton of people have him CB1 over Arnold or anyone else because he dominated the Senior Bowl, was MVP for sure there, and then he dominates the NFL Combine. Maybe was the MVP there as well, running a 4.3 40-yard dash and was just really, really good. But put up great numbers. For Toledo, 2023, 41 tackles, 1 interception, 18 pass deflections. Also from Florida, so another Florida guy, 1-2 from Williston, Florida. In the last 2 seasons, and this is just a crazy stat, 37 pass deflections. Incredible in coverage. Can play zone at a very elite level, can play primarily off ball, off press man coverage. But then he goes to Senior Bowl. He had only played 8% press man coverage at college, and he goes and he dominates at press man coverage against, all these guys are going to be drafted round 1, 2, 3, 4. So very competitive. He's going to be a special player at the NFL level. So to me, if either of these guys fall, it's a home run. It's an A grade for the Jaguars. But I also love these next 2 receivers and would not be mad at all if we go this route as well. So I have CB1, CB2, and then I have wide receiver at number 3, Brian Thomas Jr. with a slight edge. Again, this is another 1A, 1B, maybe this is 2A, 2B, with Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU just ahead of A.D. Mitchell, but very, very similar. Both these guys are very tall. They've got the size. They've got the strength. They've got the speed. Both of them ran low 4.3s at the NFL Combine, which is crazy at their size. Both over 6'2", both around 210 pounds. Good strength, great ability to go up and get the ball. Both guys with a potential to be a wide receiver 1, an outside alpha X receiver for the Jaguars. Again, a lot of these you'll see, I feel like we need to go get weapons for Trevor Lawrence. Plus, LSU has just become a wide receiver factory. Think about who they've churned out recently. You've got Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, 2 of the best wide receivers in the game. You're going to have Malik Neighbors go as a potential top 3, top 5, top 7 pick. I think he's going to be an incredible all-pro level wide receiver. And then you've got now Brian Thomas Jr., and you've got other guys too, OBJ, that have played there in the past as well. But he was incredible. He was special in 2023. 68 catches, 1,177 yards, 17 touchdowns, 17.3 yards per catch. He was a touchdown king in terms of receiving touchdowns for college football, and that's what the Jaguars need. We struggled to get in the end zone. So I think his vertical ability, his speed, he needs to clean up his route running and just needs to get stronger and smarter there, which I think will happen. What I love about these next 2 guys, Brian Thomas Jr. and A.D. Mitchell, I think they're so close that if both of them are on the board at 17, the Jaguars are in a great spot to trade down a few positions, maybe 20, 21, 22, 23, right around there, and get some more draft capital because they're so similar to me. So number 4 is Adonai Mitchell, A.D. Mitchell out of UT, wide receiver. Again, tall, 6'2", 6'3", runs a 4.3, 210, is a touchdown machine, had 11 touchdowns for the Longhorns last year, 55 catches, 845 yards. And this is a sneaky but very important stat to me. He had 0 fumbles lost in all of college football. So 3 seasons, UGA, and UT lost 0 fumbles. A Jaguars offense that struggled a ton with turnovers, that is a big stat. He is a smoother route runner to me than Brian Thomas Jr. He's got incredible speed, but I give Brian Thomas Jr. the slight edge in terms of explosiveness, and so that's why I have him slightly above A.D. Mitchell. But again, both these guys, very, very similar, very, very incredible options. A little bit of risk. I don't have them in the same category as the top 3 wide receivers, which is why still I want us to trade up, go get. I'd be very, very happy with Rome Odunze, Marvin Harrison Jr., or the LSU guy, I'm blanking on Neighbors, Malik Neighbors. All 3 of them would be fantastic and would show Trevor Lawrence, hey, we're serious about building an elite offense around you. We want you to stay in Jacksonville long term. Let's build something special here. Speaking of building weapons around Trevor Lawrence, let's switch from wide receivers and cornerbacks to offensive line because that was another struggle area for us. And the best right tackle in this draft to me, this is a guy I've seen get mocked as high as number 6, and I've seen go as low as early 20s. And that's offensive tackle Taliese Fuaga out of Oregon State. Again, best right tackle in the draft class to me. In 2023, gave up 0 sacks, 0 quarterback hits, and the craziest part of that stat is he's an even better run blocker than he is a pass blocker. That's how good this guy is. And so you could plug him in, start day one. And what's also awesome, we know the Jaguars love versatility. He is a guy that I think has Definitely the size, 6'6", 330 plus pounds, like can easily move inside if it's needed. But I actually like him going right tackle and the Jaguars moving Anton Harrison to left tackle, which has already been talked a lot about this offseason. Anton says he's great. He's ready to go at left tackle if needed. Balky's talked about it. And so you would solidify that left and right tackle position for the Jaguars for the next, especially if you give them both extensions, the next 10, 12 years, and you have the outside edge protected for Trevor Lawrence. Another great pick. And then switching to another big need for the Jacksonville Jaguars, not just offensive line, but also defensive line. And so I have number 6 and 7 very closely graded as well. This is another position where I think if both are on the board, you can trade back to the mid-20s, get another top 50 pick, and you're still getting defensive tackle, and you're getting wide receiver and cornerback all in the top 50 selections. I think that is a fantastic draft class for the Jaguars. And so I have defensive tackle Jer'Zhan Newton out of Illinois, just ahead of Byron Murphy Jr. Out of Texas. Both these guys are slightly undersized, but incredibly explosive athletes. Great against pass rush, great against the run. Jer'Zhan Newton in 2023 had 52 tackles, 7.5 sacks, 8.5 tackles for loss, 2 pass deflections, and yet another Florida guy from St. Petersburg. He improved every season at Illinois. He's a defensive leader. He's a slept-on pick to me. I'm seeing him slowly creep back further and further. I know because the injury didn't work out at the combine. Hopefully we'll get to see him at his pro day. But a guy that just keeps getting better and better and better. He can go in, learn from Ark Armstead, the new Jacksonville Jaguar. He would almost certainly play in a 4-3 defensive tackle. If we stayed at 3-4, he would play defensive end there. But would bring an interior pass rush that the Jaguars had almost none, and an interior run stopper as well, which the Jaguars struggled a ton at too, getting pushed around and run over on 3rd and 4th and short. And so number 7, defensive tackle Byron Murphy Jr. out of UT, out of Texas. Again, you could say ditto for almost all these things. Great against the pass rush, great against the run. Both slightly undersized, so I don't think you'd ever see them potentially bulk up and go a nose tackle or defensive tackle in a 3-4 setting. I think both would play a 4-3 defensive tackle or 3-4 defensive end. It's both around 6'1", 6'2", right around that 300-pound marker. For Murphy, he had 29 tackles, 5 sacks, 8.5 tackles for loss. One thing I want to see him improve, because he actually had 0 for all 3 seasons at UT in this. He had 0 pass deflections, 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumble recoveries. I love a guy who will go get the football. So make a few more big plays. That's the only reason I have Jer'Zhan Newton ahead of Byron Murphy, but both would be an incredible upgrade for the defensive line. And think about that line for the Jaguars. You got Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker blitzing the passer. You got Armstead in the middle. You'd have Newton or Murphy there in the middle or on the edge as well. That would be an incredible defensive line. So I love trading back, 5 to 10 spots and selecting one of those guys if both are on the board there. Both would be huge bonuses, huge boosts for the Jaguars defense and for Ryan Nielsen, defensive coordinator of the Jags. These next 3, I think, are guys that I would really like to see if all 7 of those guys are gone, that we're trading back mid-20s or maybe even the end of the first round. But again, we've talked about cornerback. This draft is very loaded at cornerback. So I have next Kool-Aid McKinstry, also Alabama, of course, played with Terrion Arnold for that great Alabama pass defense. There were some concerns about his top-end speed, but then he goes out at Pro Day, runs a 4.4, which I think will boost his draft stock back into the late first-round selection. He's a guy that does everything very well, but I wouldn't say he does anything elite. And so he had 32 tackles in 2023, 0 interceptions, 7 pass deflections, graded very, very well on PFF. Just a guy that didn't get targeted a ton, a lot of respect after his 2022 season. And so I think he's got a ceiling of CB2, borderline CB1 in the NFL, but he doesn't have that all-pro ceiling of Terrion Arnold or Quinyon Mitchell to me, but a very, very good corner. And again, Jaguars need help at corner, which is why number 9 is Nate Wiggins out of Clemson, the opposite of Kool-Aid McKinstry. He does something exceptionally well. and elite, and that is run fast. Ran a 4.2 40-yard dash. I actually think if he didn't get injured and could have ran it again, I think he would have been closer to low 4.2s. And who knows, maybe we were talking about Nate Wiggins breaking the combine record. But crazy speed, was clocked at 22, 23 miles per hour several times in the season. In game, he had a few plays where he sprints down, catches the guy at the 1 yard line. A few of them turn into fumbles. He's got high motor, high hard, great stats, 28 tackles, 2 picks, 1 touchdown, 6 pass deflections, 1 sack, 2 fumbles, 2 forced fumbles. The big question, the big concern about Nate Wiggins is size. He weighed in about 173 at the combine, did not tackle particularly well because of that, but is a great pure cover corner, better at zone than man to me, but he's got the speed. He just needs to increase strength, he's got the height, he's 6'2", so if he could add 10 to 15 pounds of muscle, he could be an easy steal late in the first round with that elite speed. So another guy to watch for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Number 10 on my big board. This is a wild card. This is just out there. This is not draft need at all, but if he's there, I've seen him mocked everywhere as high as number 5, actually a lot to the Chargers. I've seen him mocked as low. CBS had him at number 32 to the Chiefs. Please, to all the other 31 teams, don't let this happen. But that is tight end Brock Bowers out of UGA. And again, it's not a need because we have Evan Ingram, and I love Evan Ingram. He's a Pro Bowl guy. I think he actually has the potential to keep improving, to be a top 3, top 5 tight end in the league. But Brock Bowers is so special. Again, if you can give Trevor Lawrence more weapons, that's never a bad thing. So I have him at number 10 just purely based off need. I have 9 other guys I would definitely take before him, but I don't hate the pick, especially if we're able to trade back a few spots and we go Brock Bowers. He can play in the slot. He averaged about 800 yards receiving a season, nearly 10 touchdowns. And look, I think that the NFL as a whole is sleeping on the importance of tight end. Look at the last 20 plus years and who dominated. Tom Brady. Yes, he had occasionally some great receivers and Randy Moss, Wes Welker, but who is he known for? He's known for Rob Gronkowski. Same with Patrick Mahomes, building a new dynasty. Yes, he had Tyreek Hill in that first Super Bowl, but who is he known for? He's known for having Travis Kelce. So a quarterback tight end duo, maybe Trevor Lawrence, Brock Bowers is that for the next 10, 15 years. And so it'd be a sneaky pick. It'd be a wild card pick. I don't expect them to do it, but Bowers has that top 5 level talent. He is that good. He has the ability to come in his rookie season, already be top 5 at his position, and he's got the talent, blocking and receiving, playing the slot to go in the next couple of years as Travis Kelce eventually retires in the next several years. Brock Bowers could be the next face of the NFL in terms of tight end position. So I just threw that in there as number 10, but those are my 10. I'm going to drop them in the comments. Give me your thoughts. Who would you move up? Who would you move down? Who would you change? Who do you want to see the Jaguars take at pick 17? Because, again, this is going to be a super important draft. This first-round pick is going to be a big one for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hey, if you like the Jaguars, if you like NFL draft stuff, we're going to be doing more content like this. So make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you like and share this video. I co-host a podcast with my 2 brothers who are also diehard Jaguars fans, JT and Joey, called the Jag Bros. We're right here on YouTube or any podcast platform, so check us out. We love the Jaguars, and be sure to like and share this.